Star analyst Dan Ives here with us to react to a chart that we're going to show you right now, which did get that midday pop, reacting as if this is a major revenue opportunity, is it?
Look, I think after all the CapEx that they're spending, I mean, this is I view it as almost a major step in the right direction, because it comes down to 3.5 billion users. How are you going to monetize it? And I think the subscription, they've obviously played around with it. This is what investors want to see. Now it's about how do you monetize the user base. And look, this is not the end step. It's just an interim step as they integrate more and more AI into that user base. That's going to be the monetization. I think that's something where the stock is not reflecting still, I think, some of the revenue opportunities that we'll see over the coming years.
Now you got 900 outperform. You mentioned investors want to see it. Do users want to see it? Are they going to be willing to pay it? We're only talking about what seems to be, according to some of the reporting here, $3 to $4 a month for a sub for Insta, Facebook, and WhatsApp.
Yeah, you start to get any sort of adoption, you start to now look at revenues that could be up 2, 3, 4%, and then so on as the adoption curve increases. So I think it's something that investors are not really factoring in, that they were going to do something like this. I think from a timing perspective, it's maybe come earlier. It shows a confidence in terms of their ability to roll it out. And look, this is going to just be a continued narrative, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's Meta, whether it's Apple. How are you going to monetize AI? Chip companies have shown how they're going to monetize, just like software.
Yeah, but you're talking, okay, that's interesting how you say it reflects a confidence on their part to do this. Some may look at this and suggest that it shows they're, a little late to the game on how they're going to monetize AI beyond their core ad business, and you just throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. Because Zuckerberg apparently at this shareholder meeting also said, or at least he opened the door for a cloud business. Is that a moonshot, or is that legit?
Look, I think cloud, obviously that could be maybe a bit more of a moonshot, but to me it's, okay, how do you slowly diversify away on the advertising side? Advertising, that's going to continue to be obviously bread and butter. But you look at what they're doing, it's going to continue to be diversification. And I view that as a positive, because their install base is unmatched. So as they monetize it, part of our bullishness in terms of, where I talk about $900 and ultimately, what could be higher, this is the key prove-it year for Zuckerberg and Meta. It's a step in the right direction after obviously a quarter where it was all about CapEx, and obviously that was more of a dog ate the homework type of conference call.
Well, let me ask you this, because as you were talking, I was looking at stock, so it's down almost 4% year to date. How much pressure do you think they're feeling inside that building? And how much pressure is he feeling himself, Zuckerberg, to deliver something that's going to wow the market and wow investors back into the name? Because outside of Microsoft, which is down as well on the year, everything else seems like it's a pretty good story to tell. Outside of these two.
Pressure is definitely building, because when you're spending 120, 130 billion from a CapEx perspective, they need to now show. And I think that the wake-up call was the last earnings call. Because when you contrast that with Amazon and obviously others, for Meta, that's kind of putting Meta in the investor penalty box. You guys start to show it. Next 2-3 quarters, this stock's either at 750, 800, or it's where it is or lower. The point is, this is kind of a fork in the road period, in my opinion, for Meta, but a step in the right direction in terms of it rolling this out.
But they keep finding themselves in the penalty box. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't just after this last quarter. It was like 2 quarters ago, they were in the penalty box with a major penalty before. Like, they can't stay out of the box. How do they stay out of the box?
Look, and I think for them, that's the quagmire, because they're trying to really turn around a cargo ship in a river. I mean, they're trying to make a massive transformation while investors are obviously watching every single move. When you think about the hyperscalers or chip companies, they're kind of front and center in terms of ones that are going to benefit from AI. Meta, we'll see Apple in a few weeks. You look at Microsoft when it comes to, one where it's still guilty till proven innocent. These are the names now that now need to show. It's not just about talk, it's about execution.
Real quick. Apple, new high. You just mentioned WWDC will be there, so that stock's up. And how much pressure is on Salesforce tonight with their earnings?
I mean, from a pressure level, if there's pressure on Meta, there's even double the pressure on Benioff and Salesforce, because it comes back to backs against the wall. I think they ultimately start from an agent force perspective. Can you get that over, ultimately to a point where it could be 3-4% of revenue? But this is a prove-it period. Look at Zscaler. They're here. Look at CrowdStrike and Palo Alto on the other side. That's why fork in the road period for tech, key few months ahead, key earnings night ahead for software.
All right, Ben.